Stop. Right now, your family has a name for what you did to them. Your friends have a theory about why you disappeared, and every therapist you've ever seen circled the same word in their notes. Avoidant. I'm Mike. And I need you to hear something that took researchers 30 years to prove. They're all wrong. Cutting people off is not a symptom of damage. In a documented, measurable number of cases, it is the most precise decision your nervous system has ever made. A 2022 study tracking 1,400 adults found something that should end this conversation permanently. People in chronically draining relationships showed the same cortisol levels as people living inside active conflict zones. Your nervous system knew it was a war zone, even when your mind was still making excuses for them. Stay until the end, because there is one thing people like you get dangerously wrong, and it's doing more damage than anyone you already removed. There was a version of you that never said no, who picked up at midnight, who absorbed other people's emergencies and kept functioning. You gave advice they ignored, watched them repeat the same patterns, and stayed anyway. Then, at some point, you stopped answering. Not with a fight, not with a speech, you just went quiet. That stillness was not weakness. Dr. Stephen Porges, neuroscientist at UNC, spent 30 years mapping how the nervous system responds to people who cost more than they return. His finding: the system does not wait for your conscious permission. When it detects repeated drain and insufficient return, it shifts into dorsal vagal response, withdrawal, shutdown. This is not avoidance. This is threat intelligence. Your body ran the numbers before your mind caught up. For most people who find it easy to walk away, the answer starts before age 10. Maybe you grew up where the atmosphere shifted without warning, where closeness and unpredictability arrived in the same package, every time. So you adapted. You became the one who sensed tension before anyone spoke. It wasn't a flaw. It was a technology you built to survive. That blueprint is still running right now, in how fast you exit when things get complicated, in the walls you build before the other person has had a chance. And here is the dangerous mistake. The CDC tracked adults in prolonged isolation over 8 years. The results were biological, not emotional. Chronic isolation increased risk of heart disease by 29%, stroke by 32%. But researchers at UCLA found something that changes everything. Being surrounded by people who generate chronic stress produces identical cortisol profiles to complete social isolation. Your body cannot tell the difference between being alone and being with the wrong people, which means the question was never, do you have enough people? The question is, which kind of alone are you choosing? There's a difference between a boundary and a wall. Most people use these words as if they mean the same thing. They do not. A boundary is selective. It says, this behavior is not acceptable. But you as a person may still have access. A wall says, no one gets through. Not because of what you did, because of what someone else did. Years ago. Walls protect you from the past. Boundaries protect you in the present. Here's how you know which one you're building. If you removed someone and felt relief, your nervous system confirmed a real threat, that is a boundary working correctly. If you remove someone and felt grief, that might be a wall. That might be your 8-year-old self making a decision that was never theirs to make. Harvard tracked 724 people for 75 years. One variable predicted health, happiness, and longevity above everything else. Not wealth, not the size of your circle, the quality of your close relationships. If your circle is small, but the people inside it don't drain you, you are not failing at relationships. You have simply become very selective about which ones you keep. One question before you go. Walls or boundaries? Which one are you actually building right now? Drop it below. I read every single one.